Hey, it's Amy. 4 years ago, I first interviewed at Google, went all the way to final rounds before being rejected. This time around, when I interviewed at Google, I had 2 prospects, 1 final offer, and a very sizable salary increase. Here's how I did it. So let's start with applying. The first time around, I actually just went on the website, uploaded my resume, no referral, hit submit. This time around, I actually had a recruiter reach out to me. The reason is because I SEO'd my LinkedIn. So what does it even mean to SEO your LinkedIn? SEO is when you optimize your profile by adding keywords that make it easier for recruiters to search for you. Now, how do you even know what the recruiters are going to search for? There should be an existing job description or JD of the role that you're already in. So first, reference that when building out your profile. But what you really want to look at is the JD of the jobs that you want to go for. Use these roles to know which key phrases companies are looking for when hiring for an ideal candidate. This can also help you focus on getting the right experience. Oftentimes, the job that we're in is different from the job that we want to be in, but generally, there are always some cross-functional skills that overlap. I also want to share another quick tactic, tailoring your resume, because we can't always be waiting for someone to reach out to us first. In the same way that you are SEOing your LinkedIn, you should be tailoring your resume to the jobs that you want to apply to, without lying, of course. One way to successfully do this is to just take keywords of the job descriptions you're looking at and to make sure they're also included in your resume. To wrap this whole section up, I know we always say that applying is a numbers game, but you really want to make sure that you're doing it strategically and putting in that extra time to tailor your LinkedIn and your resume. All right. Moving on to prepping. So the first time around, I actually had a moment of self-clarity because I realized I didn't really have anything to prep because I didn't have any actual work experience at that point in my life. Now, flashing forward to today, where I have more experience, I would definitely recommend solidifying your story. You should be able to tell anyone that you're interviewing with your story in 1 minute. I personally advise to keep your prep simple. I would bullet point projects I'd worked on, my accomplishments, just so I could easily recall, what did I do and what impact did I make? I know sometimes thinking on your feet can seem scary because it leaves more room for error, but actually I think it gives more opportunity for a conversation to evolve together and for you to show your personality more. Also, we all know the moment when we're so rehearsed that you don't even actually answer the question that the interviewer is giving you because you are so focused on remembering what you've memorized and spitting that back out. So the most fun part of the process, interviewing. A quick tip I have is to just make sure you are maximizing that honestly small allotted time you have with your interviewers by touching base during the actual interview. This is something I started doing for all of my jobs, including the interviews with Google. And it'd be something as simple like answering the question, but then pausing and saying something like, I'm happy to keep continuing down this road, but I wanted to pause here real quick and see if you wanted me to take this in another way. Interviews can be a really long and draining process for both parties involved. I wanted to give myself an opportunity to tweak my answers, but also re-engage my interviewers. Okay, so let's talk about Googleyness. From what I've personally experienced, the part about Googleyness is getting to know who you are beyond just your resume and your experiences. Make sure to ask yourself, why do I even want to work at Google? Be able to show a different side to yourself that makes people want to work with you and gives you an edge outside of work, whether that be side hustle, racing sailboats, whatever it may be. Last but not least, hearing back. More than the offer, I wanted to talk about handling rejection and normalizing it. I've been there myself, and if it's a job that you really want, you're gonna get really excited and you're going to be really disappointed and crushed if you don't get it. Especially if you're a new grad or you don't have a job lined up, it's really hard. At one point in time, I just felt like nobody wanted to hire me. And that's the name of the game. But just remember that one rejection does not define you. Time is one of the biggest catalysts out there for change. Even though I myself didn't get the job 3 years ago, there have been so many moments for me since that have really defined my career for me. Being at every one of my jobs before Google has really helped me understand what job I even want next. And And let me tell you, I'm in a very different role at Google than the one I interviewed for 4 years ago. As always, thanks for watching, and please leave a comment on what was helpful or what you'd like to see in future videos. You know, I'd love to hear from you guys. And just as a quick reminder, we have a job hunting template which I will link below, so be sure to check that out. Bye!